The things we learned, yeah. Next time we'll start this slightly earlier. So it doesn't take forever.
Damn that curve.
And we're live.
It's all right, I pledge allegiance, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, Ms. Eric, can you please call the roll?
Okay, Council President, Director Hyden,
Here.
Council Vice President Mike Wolski,
Here.
Council Member Josie Kerr,
Here.
Council Member Ed Loud, Council Member Anna Key. Here.
All right, Anna, consent agenda.
All the claims. That are over 5,000 have, are either our regular monthly bills or contracts approved by council.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions on the consent agenda? Do I have a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the consent agenda for May 21st.
I will second. I have a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All those in favor saying aye, please.
I
Aye. Opposed? I just have it for it. Citizen comments. Chris, you want to say? No. Okay. Staff reports. Chief.
Having complaints about that stretch of 40 in front of those apartments, about the people not understanding that the emergency lane is not a two-way lane. And we have had some people still not understanding that. Speeding up one past there, and we're gonna get the speed trailer out there. However, that speed trailer is not holding a charge very well at all, so we're looking into either purchasing another battery or trying to do maybe a solar battery. Looking into the options on that, I think the solar battery would be more something we look into. It's ridiculous. Every time we have to pull it back in to charge it and then pull it back out. So I think that's something we might want to do, but hopefully that'll maybe help things, but there's still a lot of speeding in there and we don't have a lot of opportunity to sit there and do traffic like we used to. Remember back when it was a 4-lane and people would be, hitting them brakes right when it went from 55 to 45 and then 40, and it would be, the nosedive that you would see, but trying to get that, at least people to understand that, but we've had people 20 years driving down that stretch and they're still having a hard time getting used to it. I know we had a hard time getting used to it too. So. Just some issues there. Other than that, I don't think I have anything else that's of value to bring up right now. If you guys have any questions.
How do you also for?
They are doing outstanding. The one that's on nights, he came from East District, so that was an easy transition. I think Kingstown County is really easy for anyone to learn, because it's definitely, it's very old school, so if you're not having to really jump through too many hoops for that. Our younger one, he's on day shift, so he's definitely getting hit hard with the, are you even old enough to be an officer kind of thing, which is pretty funny, so. But they're actually doing very well, fitting it just fine.
Anybody have any questions for Chief? All right, Ben's not here this evening. We are, Ben's not. Is there anything on the staff report of significance that you want to report on? We've all had it for a few days, so I've all had a chance to read it. So. Does anybody have any questions for Caitlin on the staff report you haven't already read or looked at?
Better.
Just ask the way she loved to answer them. All right. Old business. Consideration of ordinance 2025-12 annexing AAA phase 3. Christine, you're on.
Thank you. This ordinance is for consideration this evening. It previously has been before you for introduction. This is phase 3 of the AAA properties project. So this is the final phase for this. If there's any questions, happy to answer those.
And there's been no changes since it was introduced last time, is that correct?
No changes, correct?
Does anyone have any questions for Christine? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we adopt ordinance 2025-12, annexing AAA property phase 3.
Second. I have a motion and a second. Any additional conversation? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? 4 ayes have it. New business, Ms. Owens again, consideration of quality of life plan support letter.
Thank you. In the council share, there's a copy of the Hancock County Quality of Life Plan. This is something that came out of their comprehensive planning process. And the county itself will be amending this into their comp plan. It looks at quality of life amenities for the entire county. It is particularly focused on the unincorporated areas. It does have some general recommendations as it relates kind of to the county as a whole. The Community Foundation led the charge on this effort, and they've asked all the communities to consider doing a letter of support. And so that letter of support was in your packet and is before you for consideration this evening. It's really up to you whether or not you want to do this letter of support. It's not binding. We're not adopting the plan itself. So the impact on us is very little. It's really to show support of the effort and support that the county should adopt the plan. With that, happy to answer any questions.
Okay. Does anybody have any questions for Ms. Owens of the plan or the letter or anything related to it? I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion and we approve the said letter.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Are any other questions or discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? 4-0. Thank you, Ms. Owens.
Thank you.
I believe you were the full second item for the agenda. Is that correct, Eric?
Yes, I did. All of the different departments have been talking with BSNA about adding some different modules now that we're moving to the cloud. So we have, payroll, HR, possibly fixed assets, and Christine and Hannah have, I think, 2 or 3 different modules they're considering for community development. So given that, we thought we should probably get one quote for the whole thing instead of coming to you guys piecemeal as we go along. And we want to make sure that we're getting the best bang for our buck as far as training and all of that to make sure that we sequence it all right. So we're hoping to have all of that ready for you at the next.
That's me.
Yes.
Does anybody have any objection to pulling down the agenda for tonight? I don't believe that requires a vote. The administrator would do that, correct? Okay. Last item on the agenda under new business is consideration of resolution 2025-08 outside auditors.
This is something that we've kind of had in the back of our minds for a while. State Board of Accounts does really, the best job that they can with the funding that they have. But they're not able to get to us consistently every year. And that causes a problem when we're trying to remember what happened 2 years ago. And with the growth that we're having, I feel like it's really important that we know about any deficiencies that we have as soon as possible. And I think that we may get to a point sometime soon with all the grants that everybody's applying for that we may need to move to a single audit. If you get, so much in federal funds, you have to have kind of a bigger audit. So we would like to consider doing an RFP to get outside auditors. And in order to do that, we would have to pass this resolution and send a letter to State Board of Accounts to let them know that we're opting out. I feel like I'm still happy for them to look at whatever they want. We're not trying to keep them away from us. We just want to get our own people so that we can get on a consistent schedule.
Is there a cost for the State Board of Accounts when they do an audit?
Yeah.
Yes, it is. That is the major difference here. And the State Board of Accounts charges us right around $175 per day for the taxing unit, which that's per day for an auditor. That's really cheap. But for the utilities, they're charging us like around $900 a day, which is kind of more their full price. So there definitely would be a cost involved, and
Yeah, it's usually like $15,000 or.
yeah, I think that's a pretty good rough estimate, possibly,
So the outside auditor is probably a little bit more expensive than the city.
yes. Yeah, the state, I know for the utility, the last time around, it was like $10,000 for the utility. And I think that that's fairly comparable, probably a little low, but not significantly lower than market rate. But the part that is just for the town, that's where we get a big discount for State Board of Accounts. But given all the bonds that we've issued, we have lots more compliance things that have to be done that on a more regular basis.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I agree. I
Yeah,
just
but-
hope that we don't. State Board of Accounts comes in, we have to pay them too, but
Yeah, there's possible that there could be some overlap depending on how the timing of everything works.
yeah, but I mean, it is what it is.
Do we currently have an auditing firm that we use, or will we be searching for that? in the
We
future?
do not have one. Yeah, we would be searching for that, and that would be like a full, I'm not sure if it would be an RFP, but it would be like. It would be a procurement situation, so we would form an audit committee. That would make the choice of which auditors to get it, and we would get proposals from several different ones. I would wanna recommend that we go with, obviously someone that's experienced and has a lot of.
Sure.
that.
Sure, I just didn't know if we had used one or currently have one.
Yeah, no, I don't, I've worked with Crow in the past, but I don't have any kind of, feeling about it, just as long as we get somebody qualified.
Okay. Does anybody else have any questions for everyone? This is an action item, so I'll do the motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the resolution 2025-08 outside auditors.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Any additional discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Ayes have it 4-0. Any other new business, Ms. Katie? Sure. Councilor comments? So you're gonna be pushers.
Oh, I changed my mind.
Any comments from councilors? I've only got one, and I keep thinking I'm beating the same drum, I know Anna does too, I just got another complaint today, actually, from my financial advisor. Driving the lights on Washington Street, are we making any headway on getting these things fixed? I know it's been a frustration of Anna's too, it's frustration.
Yeah, part of it's on an electrical problem. It's a big electrical problem, I think.
I'll follow up, I forwarded it to Everett. And signal, so I'll follow up on it.
And I realize the way the circuit's down, where it's been explained to me, it's very random on which ones go out and which ones are not working, it's not like it's 3 in a row,
Yes,
so.
is it the ones? Over here by the Creek Road?
Oh, they're all over, they're all over Washington Street as far as being at, it's very sporadic. Yeah, I can take Cumberland Heights, if I'm getting there on Randy, but it's very dark,
Yeah, that's the one that I reported.
but there's several that are out sporadically on Washington Street. You know, you'll have 3 or 4 row on, one off, then a couple on, one off, it's very sporadic.
Wondered, it used to be the timer set up for daylight savings but they would lose power in a big storm. So then that resets the clock. So it doesn't know if it's daylight or standard or what time of day or night it is. So they all just come on at random times. And I think we get them right for a while and then boom, they all start going wacky.
And that might be part of the problem with some of them also. Yeah. Also, the landscaping,
Yes, they started this week. They have a lot to do.
Yes.
Yeah, but they did start, I believe they started Monday, but if not Monday, then yesterday. Yeah.
They started, one of the days I saw, when I realized it was them, it's just like, I mean, they were doing it right at rush hour, 5 o'clock rush hour, so it's like, I hope in the future they try to do it between 9 and 3, but I know that's not always possible.
I saw him out there from Santa's house.
Yeah.
It's like along in
I
there.
was sitting out for the subway the other day looking at the landscaping.
So, I mean, it looks better now.
Hopefully it stays nice and once everything starts dying, it's
Yeah, I noticed that.
right now for the drought that's coming, that always comes in July.
Okay, any other council comments? Ms. Caitlin or Chris Lee, who wants to field with future agenda items?
I know that I will have a professional services contract from A&M Engineering for a road impact fee study. Coming to you at your next meeting.
I'll have some more annexation stuff coming back to you guys at some point. And you'll have a couple things coming from planning commission potentially, in the next month or two.
Please don't forget when you're scheduling stuff, we will not be meeting July 2nd.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I don't think we'll have a quorum, and even if we did, it'd be tight, and I think that's really tight for the holidays, so we will not be meeting that July 2nd meeting, just for a heads up. Anybody have anything else? We good with the order? I'll entertain a motion.
Moved.
Done.
Got my voice back.
You did it. You sit here all day like.
Be like,
Back to you. You're a TV, but it's you are a TV. You're a TV.
It might be a little delayed for this time.
That's